With all the summer outdoor activities, both your pets and the families are at risk. Here to share some tips on how to keep pesky parasites from ruining your summer fun is Dr. Simon Starkey, Preventative Veterinarian Medicine. Welcome, Dr. Starkey, and also welcome, Zeke.
That's right. Yes, thank you for having us.
He's cute. Great to have you both here. We're talking about these parasites that all of us pet parents seem to deal with our furry companions. Can a single flea bite really cause noticeable symptoms in a dog or even a cat? Are fleas really that much of a concern?
Absolutely. You know, in Florida we say it's not a question of if, it's a question of when your pet will get fleas if they're not treated with a monthly preventative. It really is a beautiful climate down there, but also a perfect one for fleas to hang out in. But what we're talking about here, this single bite, is a condition called flea allergy dermatitis. And that's all the more reason to treat your pet preventatively. Basically what happens with bite after bite after bite, the pet can become allergic to that flea saliva, much the same way as people can become allergic to peanuts or shellfish. And it can take increasingly little amounts to cause a reaction. In those unfortunate pets, a single bite can indeed cause signs of intense itching and scratching, fur loss, and even be the cause of hot spots, which many pet parents will be familiar with.
And then I'm glad you mentioned Southwest Florida because personally I've lived all over the country and with my pets I've never lived in an area where the parasites are so bad. My dog actually has Lyme disease right now, so what can people do to avoid that from happening to their own pets?
Yeah, you know, Lyme disease is a tick-borne disease. Basically, these are bacteria that are spread from the bite of the tick into the pet and in certain cases to people. You know, Lyme is mostly a problem up in the Northeast and the Great Lakes, but it's spreading throughout the country. And down south, they're really at risk for a condition called ehrlichiosis and Rocky Mountain spotted fever as well. Really, all of these have similar effects on your pet, as you'd be familiar with. That can cause a lack of appetite, lameness, fever. But they can all be prevented quite easily with the use of a topical product like Bayer's Canine Advantix 2. These are applied in spots along the back of the neck and the back following the directions on the product, and they can provide 1 month of protection. Additionally, there's a great new product out called Seresto, and this is a collar that provides 8 months of protection with a single collar. Essentially apply that, and I say you're going to set it and forget it until that 8-month period when you replace it. And really, I think in a state like Florida, that is just a great product, a great offering. The monthly products are fantastic too, but many of us with the best intentions, we just forget to do it. So here's a way to get that protection really for a greater period of time.
And now how long would you say, I mean, especially living in an area like Florida where we do have to deal with it more often, how long do we need to use these types of products? Are we talking 12 months out of the year?
Now, really, we recommend that throughout the country, but in the state of Florida, it's absolutely essential. You know, all flea life stages can live down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and relatively few days there, especially in the Fort Myers region, that get close to that. And admittedly, in our house, we're keeping the house well above that, hopefully year-round. So basically, fleas have what we call the secret life, and that is, for every one adult you see, there's going to be 8 or 9 immature stages, that is eggs and larvae, that are hanging out in your house as well. And those are the stages that can take several months to emerge. And so maybe they came into the house in mid-year, but come January, February, they're able to emerge and infect your pet. So really, for the peace of mind it provides, we do recommend year-round prevention.
And then, Dr. Starkey, before we go, do we need to worry about heat stroke with our pets? I know in Florida here it's so hot. Is it something that we should really be concerned about?
Absolutely, and it's heat and humidity, which is a sort of double whammy. You know, pets rely on panting to cool down. It's a form of evaporative cooling, kind of like their own swamp cooler, if you will. But however, as the humidity increases, we realize that form of cooling becomes less efficient. So even as low as 80 degrees, which would be fairly mild by your standards in the summer, can cause heat stroke. So things to look out for is excessive panting. We're also worried about signs of weakness and lethargy. And obviously, if it's bad, it can lead to collapse and even unconsciousness. So let's try and head it off with lots of water, keeping the pets sprayed down and cool, and really keeping them indoors just during the heat of summer as much as possible.
Well, and Zeke, he looks to be in pretty good hands there, so we thank you both so much for joining us. Do you have a website that we can go to get more information about protecting our pets this summer?
Absolutely. Well, for products, I recommend PetSmart.com. We have $15 off select Bayer products right through mid-August. And for additional health information, visit PetParents.com.
Dr. Starkey, thank you so much. And thank you, Zeke. Bye.
Thanks.
We're going to have more on this segment on our website. Just go to fox4morningsblend.com.
Speaking of heat and humidity, let's get one last check on today's Fox forecast, and we'll be right back.